Welcome back to Outdoors with Larry Ray on ESPN 790 AM, brought to you proudly by the Tennessee Wildlife and Resources Agency.
Hey, good Saturday morning. Welcome back to Outdoors with Larry Ray. Appreciate talking to Tony Shepard after the big win at the American Crappie Trail Tournament up at Kentucky Lake, and get ready for next weekend out at Grenada Lake. But this next guest, I've been wanting to have him on the show for a pretty good while. You know that Outdoors with Larry Ray has been very fortunate over the years to work with the good folks at USA Archery out of Colorado Springs, Sarah Boyd. And recently I got a press release from Sarah, always a great news development from there. And she talked about, which does not surprise me, and it didn't surprise John Gordon or Ron either, the popularity of archery and how things have gone at the USA Archery. So who better to talk about that than Rod Menzer? He is the USA Archery CEO, and we have tracked down Rod in Gainesville, Florida, where he is at an event today. I think it's called, what's it called, Rod? The Gator what?
Yeah, Florida Gator Cup.
The Florida.
So it's one of our U.S. Archery team events.
And so thanks, Rod, for being with us. And I know that you're passionate about the job that you have, and we're going to talk with Rod not only about what's going to maybe, hopefully, happen in Japan this summer, but let's talk about the popularity of archery, Rod.
Yeah.
And as John Gordon said, well, you can't get any ammunition for a gun, so let's get into archery. So I stole your thunder, John. I'm sorry. Okay.
It's all right, Larry. But it's true, though. I mean, you know,
it really is. It really is.
So talk about it, Rod.
We have seen an incredible interest in archery throughout the entire pandemic, to be honest. You know, initially, when everything was closed down, we saw this big drop in archery participation, right? But then as soon as we started to get any breathing room, people started, you know, they wanted to get outside, they wanted to do things, and they started to shoot more in their backyard. They started to blow the dust off some equipment that they had and started there. But then we've seen a lot of new folks getting involved because it has been something that you can do in the backyard or in a park or, you know, someplace that has you know, allows you to do it, right? And we've seen just incredible growth and at events, some of the amount of people that want to join an event. We're at Gator Cup here right now in Florida. I mean, we're sold out. I mean, we had a waiting list to get into this event, and we have another event coming up in SoCal in Chula Vista, the SoCal Shootout, and that one is also at a waiting list.
What do you mean by sold out? How many? How many are you talking about at one?
We're talking 700 archers.
Okay, yeah.
You know, so it's a, you know, when you're talking a USA Archery event, that's one big line of targets. You know, you know, it's an awful lot. And right now we can, you know, we're only shooting 2 people per target, so it's an awful lot of targets. But we're seeing just an incredible demand and really wonderful growth in, you know, membership and in just overall. You know, when I talk to manufacturers in the industry, everybody literally cannot make product fast enough.
There you
whether
go.
It's sights, arrows, bows, anything. You know, so archery right now is a great thing. People are excited about it, and with the Olympics coming up, it's only going to get better. And now, I truly believe that.
And leading into that, USA Archery, as I read this in the press release, in March of 2021 was the largest membership gain in many years. Over 2,000 archers became members of USA Archery.
It's amazing, and it's just a lot of fun. I mean, you know, you're always at any organization that you have membership, and John, you definitely know this with Ducks Unlimited. You know, you have that churn, right? There's a certain amount of people that you lose every year, and you're always looking to gain that chunk back, and it's usually somewhere in that 30% area, right? So you lose 30% of your membership, and in order to grow, you have to actually grow beyond 30%. You know, well, we're just not seeing that same level of churn, shall we say. People that are in it are staying in it, and we're seeing, you know, just a lot more growth.
Well,
and, you know, we held events last year. We did not. We canceled one event only, and then we held all of our other events.
Did you
and
really?
That's probably helped with our, membership too. As we were one of the few places where people could actually go and participate. They were all later in the fall. We had to postpone some, but we were able to hold them, which was great.
And in your association with archery, Rod, I mean, I'm assuming that you started at a young age, and I think you said you got a stick or something, whatever it was.
I did, yes. I was a kid that would go out in the woods and grab a stick and some fishing string and make myself a little bow.
There you go, Ron.
And,
Ron Wong, here they fishing string. There are other things you can use. Yeah, make you a bow out of it. Yeah.
And it was never the fishing string that broke. Eventually, towards the end of the week, the stick would dry out enough where it would then snap, and I'd have to get another stick. But I would literally, I'd get a $5 a week allowance, and I would go to the local Ace hardware store, and I'd buy like an wood arrow or two, and because I'd break them all, and I'd go out there with my little fishing string bow and in the woods and just shoot everything I could think of.
Well, undoubtedly you did it well.
But literally just trees and stumps and whatever it was, and just had a lot of fun doing that. And that kind of started my passion. But then it was literally a bike ride when I was 15 years old. I went, my neighbor, friend of mine, girl, we ended up taking a bike ride in the city of Sheboygan, and we took a long bike ride at a place I'd never gone in the city before. And when we were going down there, I came across this place and it said J&L Archery Range and Pro Shop. And I was like, what?
Whoa.
They have these? I can't believe it, because the only time I ever saw them was in the Ace hardware store, the little arrows in the boxes and stuff.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, we got to stop. And I went inside and I saw all these bows on the wall, and my jaw just dropped, and I just couldn't believe it. And I remember pedaling home and asking my mom, you got to let me get a bow. You got to let me get a bow. And
little did you know.
She agreed, but that started it all.
Little did you know, and of course, Rod went on to win the World Archery Field Championship 2008, the World Indoor Team Gold Medalist, and the World Record Holder in 2005. Has been part of this. Started competitive archery products in 2006, and here he became on the USA Archery Board of Directors in 2015, and now he is the CEO. So this has been. The part of, I guess, your dream walk for you.
Well, it is, except I hardly get to shoot as much now.
Well, that's your fault.
Because I'm just so busy. That's the one thing, right? If you really have a passion in something, don't go working in it, because all of a sudden you have less time to do it. But, it is, I love this sport. And, the goal is to grow this sport in all aspects. That's one thing that most people don't realize about USA Archery is we actually invest a ton of money in the grassroots development of archery. And I don't care where they go. If they turn into hunters, great. If they're into 3D, if they're into, whatever, bow fishing, it's like, go do it. Find your passion. But just be an archer, and that's so much of what we do. And it's just awesome.
Well, I know that I didn't plan it this way, but we had a 13-year-old on this show last week who has got big into 3D archery, and at the same time, he's developed an app to help with type 1 diabetes through his archery.
Oh, that's outstanding.
And so I go from a 13-year-old to the CEO of USA Archery. I mean, there's a lot of variety here on this show. I can tell you that. So talk about Japan then, Rod. I mean, we're looking forward to Tokyo and the Olympics, and of course the Paralympic Games. So, are we going to have a strong team? You think? Are you?
We will. We will. I mean, of course, we have currently 5 current world champions. So we've got quite a few world champions already. But when you're talking about the Olympic Games, we got Brady Ellison, who's the number 1 ranked.
Brady's been on this show. Yeah, Brady's been on this show.
He's shooting better than I've ever seen him shoot right now. So
is that possible?
He is ready to go.
All right.
And so I expect great things from him. But the men's and the women's team, they're solid. And we've got the final qualifying tournament in Paris coming up
Okay.
in early June.
Early June.
And that's where we'll get a full team, hopefully, where we'll get 3 men, 3 women. But right now we've got 1 man, 1 woman qualified for Tokyo. And the Olympic trials, we're right in the middle of them right now, so we still got a couple stages left. And the Paralympic trials, same thing. So we're going to have great teams. They will hold the games. Everything that I'm hearing is a definite yes.
Yes.
Unfortunately, there won't be many people in the stands, but
yeah.
They will hold the games, and I'm really excited about it. The one cool fact about archery is in the last 2 Summer Olympics, archery during the first week of the Olympic Games, when the archery is actually in the games, was the number 2 watched sport of all the sports in the last 2 Olympic Games.
Really? Yeah.
When you think of the phenomenal sports that are in the games, right?
Yes.
And for that, people just love archery. And when they see it, they're fascinated by it. And, it's getting them to see the opportunity to go out and pick something up and to go try it somewhere, and that's where our pro shops and dealers are so important.
Well, it's just amazing. Of course, as we said, Brady's been on this show 2 or 3 times.
He's an amazing
I've
man.
had Katuna Lorig on this show several times.
Yes.
She tried to teach Jennifer Lawrence how to shoot that bow in the Hunger Games, But to hear this, if you tell me Brady is better than he's been, that gets me real excited. Hey, Rod Menzer, we appreciate you being on Outdoors with Larry Ray, and of course, a lot of fans. It's a growing sport here. The young people here in this area, it's exploding with hundreds of kids involved in the sport itself of scholastic clay targets and all these other different kind of things.
Yep.
But thank you for taking time in your busy schedule. Folks, you can go, what's that website again, Rod, to find out more information about USA Archery?
usarchery.org.
That's it, folks. Find out all about them. We look forward to a great summer. And thank you, Rod. We'll stay in touch. Okay,
Thank
buddy?
you, Larry.
Be
Ron
careful.
and John, take care.
All right. Thank you. Let's take a break on Outdoors with Larry Ray and be right back.